Councillor Mark Ingle, leader of Harlow Council. The business grants, this seems like an awful mess, doesn't it? So on Friday, February the 12th, can you tell me where we stand regarding business grants for Harlow businesses?
I set a deadline for my officers for today to make sure that all the grant applications that we'd received up to 2 weeks ago had been processed. That means that the people who made the application have been written to, paid the money if they qualify for the money, explained why they don't qualify if they don't, or more information if we need more information. And we've met that target. In fact, we've beaten that target, because not only have we done all of those, I think there were 171, all 171 of those applications, we've also done every single application, and there have been very many of those, every single application that's arrived since we made the promise.
Do you take on board any of the criticisms from the opposition in respect of this?
Look, this is a very, very complex process. We've been in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 and a national lockdown since November. And every time we change from one tier to another, the businesses that are eligible for payments, it changes. And the information that they have to provide changes. And the government regulations and guidance changes. And very often we only get the guidance and the regulations around payouts a week, 10 days after the announcement's made. So it's taken longer than I would have hoped for some businesses. But this isn't a Harlow problem. Only yesterday, in a meeting of finance officers across Essex, many finance officers said they were finding it very difficult to keep up with business applications for grants due to the complex nature of the requirements and the significant grey areas that exist around discretionary grants.
So do you feel it's a bit rich for the Tories? Do you think they should be criticising their government first and you second, if there's going to be a list, a queue?
Look, I think it's they bring individual cases into the public arena. And of course, I can't comment on individual cases. It would be wrong as me, as a councillor, to promote a single individual case, because that way leads nepotism and corruption and cronyism. We have to put out what we consider our best interpretation of the government guidelines and follow them. Now look, Forbes.com have estimated there are 3 million small businesses, and that includes hairdressers and sole traders and window cleaners who have fallen through the cracks of the government schemes. It's not a Harlow problem. And, I genuinely feel truly sorry for those that don't qualify for the grants, but the regulations are put there by the Conservative government, and I'm very happy to work with Conservative councillors to go back to the government and say, actually, there are a lot of people who aren't qualifying for these grants and they deserve them.
We're now coming up to the middle of February. For businesses, there's going to be lots of different, people can talk about a route map out of COVID, but for a lot of businesses, there's going to be a route map into trouble. And we could look at the end of the financial year on March the 31st, ending of furlough. Does Harlow Council have a plan of action in respect and how they can help businesses should, for whatever reason, over the next 12 months?
Well, look, we've been working efficiently. So far, we've dispersed £36 million of the government's grants, and that's to nearly 300 businesses, 140 individuals and 6,300 different households. And we'll continue to review what we give out and how we give it out to try and do the very best service that we can. But in our budget that was passed by council only a few weeks ago, we put extra money into a discretionary fund that can support people who have really been very badly hit by COVID. But let's not pretend that Harlow has the answer to an international pandemic.